our tactic in this section is going to be split the middle since we have 3 terms. For these first 2 examples, our front number is 1. Since there's no number there, it's 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 1 times 8. 8 times C is the key. 1 times 8 is 8. I need 2 numbers that multiply to 8 and add to 6. Add to that middle number. So I'm going to do my factor tree for positive 8. And everything's positive, so I don't need to introduce any negatives here. So 8 is 1 and 8. And 2 times 4. And 3 doesn't go into 8. And then I'm back to 4. And I already used 4, so I'm good. That's my whole factor tree for 8. Don't feel like you can't write down the whole factor tree. If you need to, write it all. So I'm looking for which combination of those adds to 6. And 4 plus 2 is 6. So there's our combination. So from here, we do this. We change our 6x into 2x plus 4x. And we bring down the rest of the problem with us. So we're going to bring down that 1x squared and that 8. And now it's called split the middle because we took that middle term and split it into 2 so that we can turn this into a GCF problem. Now we're going to look at the first 2 numbers and see, or 2 terms, and see what they have in common. 1x squared and 2x have x in common. So I'm going to divide by x. X squared divided by x leaves me with 1x. 2x divided by x cancels my x's, plus 2. So that's that first section. Stop it. Now I'm going to do the same to the next 2. We're always going to bring down this middle sign. 4x and 8. What can I divide out there? Well, 4 goes into 8, and that's our smallest number, so I'm going to divide both by 4. 4x divided by 4, so I put that 4 out front. 4x divided by 4 is x, and 8 divided by 4 is 2. And now we're one step from our final answer. Our final answer looks like this. Stuff on the outside becomes one set of parentheses. Stuff on the inside, those have to match. So I have x plus 2 and x plus 2. Those have to match, and that becomes our other set of parentheses. You can absolutely double distribute like we did on that first problem or second problem in order to double check that you get back to x squared plus 6x plus 8. All right, go ahead, and if you haven't tried number 6 yet, pause and try that one. All right, hopefully you've tried number 6. Now I'm going to work through it. So a times c is the key. 1 times negative 48 is negative 48. I need 2 numbers that multiply to negative 48 and add to negative 2. So I'm going to do my factor tree for negative 48. I'm going to use a handheld calculator here. You can use Desmos if you would like. But I'm going to do my factor tree for 48. 48 is a pretty big factor tree. Let's do 48 divided by 3. Four and 12. 5 does not go into 48. 6 goes into 48 8 times. 7 does not go into 48 evenly. And then we're back to 8. So that's the factor tree for 48. Now for negative 48, we need 1 negative and 1 positive. And this is where it gets a little tricky, is to figure out which combination is going to work for you. But if I'm going to make 1 negative and 1 positive, and I start looking at like a 1 and 48 situation, if I make 48 negative, 1 minus 48 is going to be negative 47. So that's way too big. I don't want to do anything with those numbers. Let's start with the numbers kind of at the bottom of our list. So I have 6 and 8. If I do negative 8, or negative 6 plus 8, that would give me a positive 2. But I need a negative 2, so I'm going to reevaluate there. What if I do positive 6 minus 8, I'm going to get negative 2. So there's our combination. You have to know the steps of factoring, but from there, since you're given a calculator, it's just kind of trudging through and being persistent. So I'm going to change my negative 2 into positive 6x minus 8x. And I'm going to bring down my x squared and my negative 48. And now, I split it in half. And greatest common factor, the first 2. The first 2 are always going to have x in common. X squared divided by x is just a single x. 6x divided by x is 6. You have to be careful if you have a negative in the middle. That sign, whether it's positive or negative, always has to come down. And then 8 is the smallest number, and 8 does go under 48, so I'm going to bring down an 8. And now I'm not just dividing by 8, I'm dividing by negative 8. Negative 8x divided by negative 8 is positive x. Negative 48 divided by negative 8 is positive 6. And our last step is to rewrite. Stuff in front. X minus 8 is one of your sets of parentheses. Stuff in the parentheses, you write once. Again, you can't double distribute to double check your work. That is 5 and 6.